Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Mr. Fix It here with another video. And yes, you guessed it, we're going to be talking about some mowers, but no, we're not going to be talking about Toro this time, unfortunately. We are going to be talking about these little green machines that are called John Deere's, and especially the one that's numbered D105 with the auto transmission. Yes, you got that right. It's the one with a plastic transmission that likes to fail all the time, and all the horror stories about these are not exactly true, and I'm going to show you what exactly goes wrong. And quick, this is 58 hours on this one, and transmission failure. So let's go to this transmission that I got right here. It's out of another D105, and it's a parts transmission, so it's got a two of the main parts that fail I've put on this one so I can show you. But just to get you a quick rundown of the layout. So this is your selector for going forward and reverse, and then this right here and this hole goes the linkage that goes to the foot pedal for like accelerator pedal or whatever you want to call it. But what happens is when you have selected if you want to go forward or you want to go reverse and you hit the pedal, what happens is this guy pulls on this bracket right here, and what this bracket does is just pops the lower portion of the vario assembly. It makes it go up, and it creates tension on this lower belt. So what is happening when you start your engine is you have your upper belt, your upper main belt. This goes to the crankshaft pulley for the drive belt, and then this is turning pretty much all the time. As soon as you let go of the park brake, this assembly is all spinning all the time, except that this lower belt doesn't have any tension on it until you actually hit the accelerator pedal and you have selected forward or reverse. And so what happens, again, like I said, this goes up, it creates tension on this lower belt like that, and then in turns that starts spinning the actual gear that will go. You can see the wheels are starting to move, and this will start moving forward or reverse, whatever you have it selected at. So now to the parts that like to fail. This one, first one, was a fairly simple. The top screw that's supposed to go all the way down in here and hold this spring compressed basically started getting loose, and it was spinning on the cap until it wore the cap, and then eventually it broke the actual bolt and the whole assembly just popped off. So guess what happens? No more tension on the drive belt, the actual main belt that turns your wheels. So yeah, transmission failure, and they told the guy you need a new transmission. Nope, that's not the case. You just needed a new cap and a new screw, and problem solved. But the next one, which I see most commonly that fail, is this guy right here, the main assembly. So this one is already broken and taken apart. There's 4 screws that hold the bracket. So let me pop it off and show you. There's the other main piece. Actually, I'm gonna do it while it's in there. So this has a shaft, internal shaft that goes all the way to the bottom. This shaft sits on this lower portion, which got a bearing. So now I can pop it off and show you what I'm talking about. So this is how the whole assembly looks like. There should be a spring inside, and there's 3 torque screws that hold this lower part, but we're not going to talk about this right now. What we're talking about is this bearing right here that fails. And what's most importantly is if this bearing fails, then the whole unit fails. Because when the engine is turning and you have your foot off the park brake, even though you haven't selected if you want to go forward or reverse, whatever the case. If you're just sitting in neutral, this is spinning. This whole assembly, the main belt that's hooked up to the engine, is spinning. So there's no tension on the lower part, and that's why you're not moving. The mower is not going anywhere. But this is still spinning, and it's spinning on this bearing. So what happens is when this bearing fails is it just, like in this case, it just heated the crap out of it. And this assembly, yes, it's plastic, so it just melted. It just heated up so hot until it actually melted the case on the vario cam pulley, and the spring popped out, and then basically this unit is no longer going up and down, and it's not creating tension on your drive belt, the secondary drive belt, which is the rib belt. So this is the main cause of the transmission failures, as they like to call it at the shops when you take your mower in. And a lot of time they will tell you, oh, you just need to replace the transaxle. No, you don't. Actually, it's 90% of the time it's either this guy or this guy, and most likely it's this guy that caused the issue. But I thought I'd share this video, make a little quick informative video, and if you are a DIYer, you can replace these yourself. So this is how it works. Basically, as soon as you hit the pedal, this guy goes up and it's pushing like that, and then it will lock up in this position and will hold tension on this lower belt, and you start moving. And then there's another bearing right here in the center. So I have seen some of these fail, but like not as many as these guys. But again, I don't really work on John Deere's that much, but yes, there are two bearings, and you can hear this one, it's already starting to make noise. So yeah, so this bearing basically, it will sit in here. So yeah, if that fails, also this, it will still be tensioned, but most likely what's going to happen is this upper part will lock up and it's just going to wear the belt, and I've seen that before. So the secondary rib belt will just kind of not get shredded, but it'll get like really skinny. So yeah, but again, these are the main parts that fail, and I thought I'd share this with you guys. If you're planning on fixing your mower, if you have an issue with a D105, or you're concerned about having an issue with a D105 that you're planning on buying, this is what you should be looking for, is those two variable speed, whatever they're called, pulleys. But yeah, anyway, they're fixable. You don't need a transaxle, so the mowers are still good. I'm not a fan of John Deere, but you buy what you like. What I do care about is you hitting that yeah that like button for me, dropping a comment down below, subscribing if you haven't already, and stay safe, be blessed, and I'll see you soon with other videos.